This video is sponsored by Tarot Stack. Hey there, cozy babe, and welcome back to the coziest, most autumnal corner on the internet. My name is Kloee Taylor, and today we are going to be channeling from your guides the message that you are meant to receive at this time. Now, before we get into it, I do just want to give a brief shout out to today's sponsor. First and foremost, I always like to say thank you so much to those of you that listen to my ad reads. I appreciate it. It literally puts the roof over my head, food on my table, and I am so grateful for the sponsor that we continuously work with, which is Tarot Stack. So thank you so much for listening to my ad read. If you do, I really appreciate it. And it also helps out a small business. So Tarot Stack, if you are unfamiliar, is an online tarot retailer. They work on distributing indie or small creator tarot decks into your hands. So every deck that we use today in the reading is a deck from Tarot Stack. Everything will be linked down below for you, including the decks that are used today. I love Tarot Stack. I purchased from them way before I ever worked with them. So I feel like incredibly honored that we even get to have that on this channel. But on top of that, they just always have something good. Like every time there are new decks that appear on their website, I feel like they have something truly for everyone. Obviously, I feel like the decks that I choose to use tend to always be like a similar aesthetic, but they have so much more than that. There is something unique for everybody. There's tarot decks, there's also oracle decks, and I've never been disappointed. I read with many of their decks on a daily basis because I also read for myself and for close friends and family. So I literally use their tarot decks on a daily basis, and the card stock is always good. The imagery is always really good. I've never had a deck fall apart on me. So just putting that out there, that like their stuff is always really quality as well. So if you're looking for a new tarot deck for your collection or a collection for, somebody else in your life, I would highly encourage you to give them a look. Link is going to be down below in the description box. And like I said, as well as the decks that we use today. So let's go ahead and get into today's reading. So pile number 1, we have number 22, and it says precision, balance, ambition, confidence, discipline, pragmatic, intuitive, emotional, and dependable. We have 4 for pile number 2, which says patient, loyal, trust, transitional, values, inner wisdom, order, seriousness, or determination. Pile number 3, we have card number 11, which says karma, spiritual awareness, or spiritual awakening, new beginning, new opportunities, high energy, enthusiasm, and guidance. And then pile number 4, we have card number 14, which says redirect. Let me actually look at this closer. Sorry. I do wear glasses if you did not know. Redirect, intense energy, deep analysis, imaginative, incredible strength, and creativity. So those are the different pile significators. And basically you can choose one of them. You can choose all of them. You could choose 2 of them, 3 of them, whatever you felt pulled to. Most people, I feel like, know which pile they're going to go with from the thumbnail. But in case you didn't, there are no wrong answers here. Some people listen to the entire video and then choose at the end which one best fit their current life scenario. I will say that there just is no wrong way to do it. And it's completely up to you and how you want to use your intuition. Just trust yourself. I believe that no matter which pile you chose, I always set the intention before I do these readings that if you come across this on your feed somewhere on YouTube, I always come with the intention that you wouldn't have even clicked on the reading if there wasn't anything here for you. So sometimes it's a partial of the reading is something you needed to hear. Sometimes it's the entire thing. Sometimes it's multiple piles. So just go with what your intuition is directing you on, and we are going to get into it starting from pile number 1. So if you need a little more time, I would encourage you to pause the video right here. And now we're going to get into it. Okay, so pile number 1, if you chose card number 22, it says precision, balance, ambition, confident, discipline, pragmatic, intuitive, emotional, and dependable. So 22 might just be a lucky number for you. Maybe that's why you decided to choose it. 22 could also be something significant just that you're seeing right now. Like if you're seeing 222, 22, just the number 2 showing up for you everywhere. Maybe you are a life path 22. Maybe your birthday's on the 22nd. Maybe the 22nd of whatever month we're in is going to be a significant day for you. But let's go ahead and just kind of get a beat on what is currently going on in your life. This is going to give you confirmation on if you chose the right pile. And then we'll get into some guidance as well. Okay, we have the Hierophant or the Hierophant, however you say it. We have the Ace of Pentacles reversed and the Ace of Cups reversed. Okay, so I always tell y'all in my readings, if you're new here and maybe this is your first time hearing me say it, but if you wanted a sugar coated reading, you have chosen the wrong reader. I always like to say and remind all of you that my father, who is in the vending machine business, is making candy at the candy factory, okay? I am not Willy Wonka. I do not sugarcoat things. I do not candy coat things. And I'm going to give it to you straight. Every time I say that, I always have this like impulse to say like gay. Like not there is not one straight bone in my body, my friends. I always have that like impulse though. Whenever I say it, I want to say like gay. I'm sorry I'm like this. Okay. So what I'm really seeing for your current situation, your current reality, what you're experiencing now is number one, I do feel like you've been outsourcing a lot of your power. So I say that because when I see the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups reversed next to what to me would be like a mentor or possibly even religious structure, not to say like Kloee Taylor is the last person. Actually, she's not the last person, but like it's not that I would never come for religion, but I do feel like sometimes religious, and this is not going to apply to everybody, like religion to me has its place in the world. I think that some people genuinely really need it and it makes them a better person. And it is like their path to enlightenment in this lifetime. And that's fine. But there are other people that will never work for. And I do think sometimes like there is nothing that is truly black and white in this reality. Like the same way that a kitchen knife could be used to murder somebody, it could also be used to help you cook a really intricate dinner for somebody that you love. Religion to me is the same way. We can use it in a negative way to do terrible things in the name of, whatever. We can also use it as a way to love on people, a way to remind ourselves using, if it were me, I'm going to say using fan fiction, which is what the Bible is to me personally, but like, it's fine if you believe in the Bible. I'm not here to talk you out of it. But I do feel like just because it's coming up, it's important for me to mention it, that when I see the Hierophant, sometimes it is tradition, overbearing religious structure, something that you need to step out of. It's almost like to me being in a fishbowl and realizing that the whole ocean has been available to you, but you just didn't know. Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, reversed. This is why I say you've been outsourcing your power, is that there's been like very little to no self-care, or the self-care that you've been doing is very surface level. It's like, oh, we're slathering on a face mask and calling it self-care, when those can be elements of self-care, but self-care to me, if I could be so honest, is really about presence. It's about being present with yourself. If we're just sitting and scrolling or doom scrolling, consuming and putting a face mask on and calling it self-care, it's not really self-care. I do feel like sometimes those can be elements of self-care. Sitting down and watching your favorite movie can be an element of self-care, but you know what I mean? I feel like when it comes to like the overconsumption, again, we're outsourcing our power. The Ace of Pentacles reverse tells me that there's maybe been a little bit of outsourcing because we have felt trapped or stuck financially or emotionally. So if this sounds like you, this is your reading. We're going to go ahead and get into the what can we do right now, given our current circumstances, given our current predicament, okay? What is going to be the best? What is going to be the best for you? Okay, we have the Three of Cups reversed. Okay, that's interesting. The Ace of Pentacles upright. I love to see that. King of Pentacles reversed. Okay, the first thing I heard when I pulled these two together, the ace and the king, is we have to stop comparing our chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 25. We have to stop comparing. Why are we not there yet? Why are we not as far yet? Why are we not where we thought we would be by the age that we are? Okay. I feel like there is definitely something about like, when do I get to be in my King of Pentacles? Because King of Pentacles is somebody that has money and is very smart with money and can like hold it really well and just like knows how to invest, knows how to save really well, knows where to put their money at what time. And to me, if you are being represented as the Ace of Pentacles, especially because it already came up in your reading once, this tells me that it's very important for you to hear about this. When I see the Ace of Pentacles coming up again, but in the upright position, this to me says that you're just at the very beginning stages of something. There's a new seed that you are planting in your life right now. And it's okay that you're not as far as everyone else yet, because this is new. And I have to tell you something, pile number one, that maybe you haven't heard. If you have, maybe this is just going to be a refresher for you. Something that Spirit is telling me to remind you is that the journey is the best part. When you finally get to an accomplishment, to a milestone, it doesn't mean that you can't enjoy that thing and be happy that you're there, because we will. But 9 times out of 10, when you finally achieve the thing that you set out to do, you celebrate it for like all of a day. And then suddenly we move the goalpost again, because it's just how we are as humans. And it's like, if you can get to a place where you love what you're doing so much, where you love your everyday life so much, and you're so grateful for where you are right now, that's the sweet spot. And something that I feel like always hits me when I see something like this is, do you realize that you're living in the good old days right now? Like, when people talk about the good old days, this is something that I do feel like comes with age, unfortunately. You know, I do try not to participate in ageism of any kind, but I do feel like you kind of have to live a little bit before you can look back and go, oh, I didn't realize I was going to miss that time. And like, you know, we can be nostalgic for our childhoods, of course, but like, I think about the time that I spent in my 20s living in an apartment that was like whatever, with like little to no money, and things were just like, it was hard. It was rough. It was difficult. And I look back at those times now in my mid 30s and I yearn for that time. I miss that time. I had no idea how good I actually had it at the time. And this is a really common experience. You know, we hear the boomers talk about it all the time. And, you know, the good old days, you know, we're not going down that road right now. But my point is, like, you're living in the good old days right now. And the more that you can learn to embrace where you are right now at this beginning stage, the more that King of Pentacles, when it comes, because it will come, when you get to that place of that coming, you will feel so much more elated, so much more like, wow, like it felt good to get here, you know? And then when I see the 3 of Cups reversed, gosh, I might have to blur this card out. YouTube has been really weird about nudity and tarot cards recently, so I might have to blur this one out, unfortunately. So if it's blurry, that's why. But with the 3 of Cups reversed, when I pulled the card, I immediately thought drama. I immediately had the notion of drama or disconnecting from people that maybe at one time in your life they really served you, but right now they don't. And actually, I just want to take a moment for you, pile number one. This book, When You're Ready, This Is How You Heal by Brianna Wiest. I just read this. And it was so good. Gosh, I hope I can find that same page again. Is it this one? No. It was basically like, oh, right here. 10 signs you're actually making progress in life, even if you don't feel like you are. This one right here, I want to just read this one section to you that says, number one, you've lost relationships. Maybe you look back and feel sad about everyone you've lost touch with. Maybe you reflect on all of your would-be relationships and whether or not you tried hard enough. Maybe you think of all the friends and acquaintances that have crossed your path and regret not remaining closer. Maybe you look back at all of the support you had and wonder why you never chose to move onto your own path. Losing relationships is often a sign that we're growing into the people we are supposed to be. We aren't meant to have the exact same circle of friends and acquaintances for the entirety of our lives. Unless those people grow in perfect congruence with us, we often step out of pace with them as they head down their own path in life. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's not a sign of failure. In fact, the willingness to let go of social comfort in order to pursue what feels more authentic to you is a sign of massive, incredible growth. You don't lose relationships. We don't lose relationships because we're not worthy of them. We lose them because we're mismatched to them. That's usually a good indicator that we've grown, we've changed, and we need to realign with people who understand who we're becoming, not just who we've been. And I felt really called to read that to you because I think sometimes when you think about stepping out of a societal norm or disconnecting from people that maybe you were once very close to, there's a lot of fear for you. There's a lot of fear and feeling scared that you're going to disappoint people or hurt someone's feelings. And the reality of the situation is that there are going to be people in your life that there is going to come a day where you will never speak to them again. Like, that is the reality of the situation. And it is so rare to have people in your life that will stay with you for life. I have learned this at multiple points in my own life. So I say this from experience, not just because I'm throwing it out there. Like, I say this from deep understanding of this. I honestly think, because I have Saturn in Aquarius, and many of you do as well, a lot of us struggle with friendship because it is a point in our chart where Aquarius is the ruler of friendship. And those of us that have Saturn in Aquarius, we have a harder time making those connections. And it's like a lesson that once we figure it out, we won't struggle so hard anymore. And I can think of multiple points in my own life, and maybe I'm feeling called to talk about this because somebody else needs to hear it. I can think of multiple friendships that I've had throughout my 20s and even into my 30s that I thought somebody was going to be in my life for life. And that's not to say that they'll never swing back around again, right? I believe in that too. I believe in second and third chances, depending on the person, of course, and what happened and what was done and have we grown and changed. But there have been multiple people that I thought would be in my life for life. And heck, I don't even speak to my maid of honor anymore. Like, there are so many people that I thought would be in my life for life. And the fact of the matter is that's very uncommon. And I'm grateful for the people that have consistently grown with me, but I'm also grateful for the lessons of people that have dropped out of my life, even when it has been a difficult transition. You know, I look back on it in hindsight now and I go, wow, that relationship probably should have ended sooner than it did. And I feel better now. Like, and sometimes you don't even know, you don't realize how good it can get on the other side of that. You don't realize it takes one really good friend to recognize what you have been accepting in your life that has maybe even not been alignment for you. That was my experience and has been numerous times, is I make a friend that is actually a good friend. And then I go, wait, I love how I feel when I'm with this person. I love who I am when I'm with this person. I love who they are and how much we support each other. And like, then I like take stock of my other relationships and I go, wait. Why do I feel this way with this person? And it kind of makes me like zero in on what is it? What is it? And I believe truly that you are the 5 people that you spend the most time with. This is why like choosing your spouse is so important. Should you choose to have one, this is why choosing your friendship circle is so important, because it's not that if your friend jumps off a bridge, you're going to jump too. It's that you'll pick up on their mannerisms. You'll pick up on the way that they speak, what they believe about life. And it's called mirroring. It's like, I want to say it's like neurons mirroring. I apologize if I'm not getting that right, but it's something about mirroring. Like we actually do this as humans. We mirror to each other. Even if it's something we don't fully believe in or fully support, many of us will do it out of like camaraderie. And you'll start to pick up on these things. And so it's actually really vital to your growth and development as a person that sometimes you let relationships go. So that is ultimately the direction and the advice for you right now, pal number one. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to check out Tarot Stack and check out the description box. I have so much down there. I do an astro and tarot report every single month on Patreon for you. I vlog on Patreon. I also have, I recently put out a video going over the Saturn transit that we've just moved into for all the signs. So if you want to see that, check out my Patreon. I also have my podcast, The Cozy Babes Club, where I typically upload every week. Every so often we might miss a week, but typically we upload every single week over there on Sunday. It's on YouTube, it's on Spotify, it's on Apple, anywhere you listen to podcasts. Link is down below for you. And then you can also follow me around the web. I'm at Kloee Taylor on all social media platforms. And yeah, that is the reading that I have for you. Thank you so much for joining me. I will talk to you in the next one. All right, pile number 2, if you chose card number 4, this is going to be your reading. So card number 4 says patience, loyalty, trust, traditional values, inner wisdom, order, seriousness, and determination. So that might just be a symbol for you. 4 might be your lucky number. You know, this to me is like you might have chosen based off of this indicator, but 4, if you see 4, 4, 4, 4, 44, this is like a lucky indicator for you and something that your guides want you to pay attention to. But let's go ahead. We're going to see what you're currently dealing with. And then we're going to look at basically some advice for that. So this is the first few cards are going to be confirmation on if you chose the right pile. So we're just going to give these a good shuffle. The 8 of Wands. Okay. The Fool reversed. The Knight of Swords. Okay, your life is moving very, very fast right now. Your life is moving fast. You might have a lot of opportunity on your door. The 8 of Wands is all about like fast forward momentum, having a lot of opportunities knocking, having a lot of things coming in at once. The Fool reversed is about you not taking risks. Okay, so to me, this is like, you could say that you're being a little bit more calculated, which I think if you have a lot of opportunity available to you, it's good to be calculated, right? It's good to not just jump at the first fish that comes out. I actually see this as more of a benefit. Like normally if I saw the Fool reversed, I'd be like, hey, you're not taking a risk and you need to take some risk. But like, I actually think this is about you stopping and really asking yourself, what is the most aligned opportunity? What feels the most in alignment for you? And the Knight of Swords is about you making that choice and then moving forward logically, making it make sense to yourself and then moving forward, being very stable, consistent, and grounded. So if this feels like this is where you're at in life right now, we're going to go ahead and keep going. That was just kind of the confirmation for you if that resonates. Okay. Put these back in the deck. And if they come out again, we'll know that they're really important. Give these one more shuffle. I also want to say that the 4th might be just an important day for you. The 4th, like, oh, that's funny because it'll be the 4th of July. The 4th might be a really important day for you this month. Okay, we have the 6 of Cups reversed. The 2 of Cups. The Wheel of Fortune. Interesting. Okay. So what I'm getting for you right now, pile number 2, is that you don't want what you've had in the past. The 6 of Cups tells me that in the past, something didn't work out the way you'd hoped it would, whether it was a business partnership, a romantic partnership, something you set your sights on, some kind of goal you wanted to achieve. Maybe you felt like you achieved it, but then it like didn't go the way that you thought it would or should. And I think it kind of left you with a little bit of a sour taste in your mouth. And that being said, I see the Two of Cups here, which tells me you're willing to take your time making decisions because you want something that is in harmony. You like this to me is almost like somebody getting married once, getting divorced, and then being like, I want my next marriage to be one of alignment, to be one that makes sense. I'm not just going to jump at the first fish that comes out and gives me a little attention. Like I want this to be an intentional decision for my life. For some of you, this could also be, I do feel like it has to do with you and another person, because the Two of Cups is about finding harmony with someone else. It doesn't have to be romantic though. It could also be, like I said, even a friendship. Maybe you've recently gone through a friendship breakup, or you've had friendships that didn't work out in the past. And now you are at a place where you want alignment or you don't want it. I think this is a really powerful place to be, in the sense that the opportunities that are being given to you right now could be some of friendship, of love, of business, of career, whatever it is. You are taking your time because you know what it feels like to have something be out of alignment for you. And you're not willing to have a repeat of the past. You're being very mature. Pile number 2 is a very mature stance that you're taking. And then when I see the Wheel of Fortune, basically this, what the universe is saying to me, what Spirit is saying to me, is that this is the good karma. This is like, well, I don't even know if I would say that it's good, because for some of you, it might not be. You know, the Wheel of Fortune, it's all about like, you're getting the karma that you are dealt. So like, if things in the past didn't work out, the reason that this is transforming and it's going to go well is because it is the good karma that you deserve. And if it's been the reverse, maybe there is another lesson to be learned here. And something to know about karma, I feel like everybody always looks at this and thinks it's bad things only. I'm a big believer, and I think some of y'all just need to hear this, that when something has already gone awry in your life, when something has already gotten messed up, you are allowed to look at God, the universe, whoever, your spiritual team, and say, you know what? You really, effed me up, and like fix it. Because the thing is, when something has already gone against you, there's already an imbalance. There's already a universal imbalance. And if we expect balance and the scales are always tipping back and forth, stop expecting basically that the scale is always just going to go down for you. Sometimes the scale gets to go up for you. Like, there's already been an imbalance. Let the balance come for you in a good way. Like, I honestly think this is going to be more overtly positive than not. Especially because of the first few cards that we drew. But I feel like Wheel of Fortune, this to me is like you getting your flowers, getting your good karma, getting what you deserve, because you've learned the lessons that you were meant to learn from the experience. You have integrated fully. And now you understand what it takes to move with alignment. So I love this. I think this is like more of a stable foundation for you, and finding partnership, friendship, love, etc., that actually lasts. Something that will be timeless, that will last, because you've already learned the lessons from the past. So now we're in the right connection at the right time. And I love this for you. So that is the reading that I have for you, pile number 2. That's what you needed to hear right now. Thank you so much, Tarot Stack, for sponsoring today's video. Please be sure to check them out. And If you would like to see more from me, I have my Patreon where we put out an astrology report every month. I just recently put out a Saturn video going over the transit for all signs. I also vlog on my Patreon, and there's like a backlog of something crazy like 500 videos. If you join, you get access to those instantaneously. A bunch of pick a cards, things that you won't get anywhere else. So, and I add to it every single month. Like from the time that we launched, I think like 4 years ago, I have posted new content there every single month, sometimes weekly, like it's more than once a month. But definitely check it out if you want more from me. You can also follow me around the web. I'm at Kloee Taylor on all social media platforms, spelled exactly as it is here. And I also have my podcast, The Cozy Babes Club. If you love what you hear here, you will love my podcast. It's available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, anywhere you listen to podcasts. And we have a real cozy fall vibey aesthetic over there. We talk about things, all kinds of things under the sun, to be honest. But I feel like if you like my readings, you'll like my podcast. So definitely give it a listen. And I will talk to you in the next one. Do not forget, when you stand on your own authenticity, you empower everyone around you to do the same. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye. All right, pile number 3, if you chose card number 11, which says karma, spiritual awakening, new beginning, new opportunities, high energy, enthusiasm, guidance. This is going to be your reading. So 11 might be a lucky number for you. Maybe you really love 1111, 111. This could be just a symbol that you're seeing a lot more frequently, and Spirit is asking you to pay attention. On top of that, the 11th of the month could also just be a lucky date for you. So, I always believe like every day is a new opportunity for good things to happen to you, but the 11th I feel like was looking promising. So the first few cards that we pull are going to be your current situation. That's how you're going to know if you chose the right pile, and then we'll get into some actual guidance. So we'll start with that. Ooh, the Sun. Hello. We have the Devil. And we have the Knight of Swords. How funny. Pile number 2 also got the Knight of Swords in the same position. So, what's funny? I feel like getting the Sun and the Devil together, it's almost like, I hesitate to say overindulgence, but I feel like we're having a good time. We're having a hot girl summer. Okay. We're having a good time, because the Sun is always a good time. Whenever I see the Sun in a reading, like, you can't convince me, even in the reverse, it's still a good time. Like, the Sun is always a good time. It's the vibe. It's just like good things happening, light shining, golden light shining upon your life, good things happening. It could be your birth month. If you're hearing this in July, happy birthday. If not, I always like, maybe you are listening to this for the first time around your birthday. The Devil coming out though, to me, is like, it can be a little bit of overindulgence. Like maybe we're spending a little more money than we typically would, or we're having like once in a lifetime experiences. Like we're on a vacation, so we're like, oh, we can spend a little extra. Or, I would say just be mindful of this, because not that I ever want, like, hello Queen, I am the resident Taurus in this house, and I am the friend, and I tell all of my friends this. I am the friend that will talk you into it. If you ever want me to talk you out of something, you have come to the wrong person. Like, I will talk you into it every day of the week. I want you to have your bag. I want you to experience pleasure. I want you to buy that thing that you want to buy for yourself. Like, if you ever want to be talked out of something, do not come to me, because I will talk you into it. I am always here for you having any experience you want on this planet, because I believe it is your birthright. But I will say, if you know that excess spending is a problem right now for you, and it's going to lead to mental peril in a couple of weeks, just be mindful of that. I definitely understand that, as somebody that I don't think I had the best examples with financial wealth. And in my own lifetime, I'm working to break that generational curse. Like, it's very easy for me to forget that sometimes in the moment, that like, oh, I just really want to buy this thing. But then I buy it, and then for a month I'm stressed out because I put that thing on a pay in for, and now I'm paying for it for the next, 6-8 weeks. And now I'm stressed. Like, if this is your situation, I would just say, like, be mindful of that. I'm not saying don't get the thing that you want, but like, my rule of thumb that has saved me a lot as I have like changed my financial situation is if I can't buy it twice, I can't afford it. Like if I don't have the money sitting in my bank account that I can afford it twice, I cannot afford it. And I'm not saying I haven't made mistakes with that, but the times that I've listened to that, it has never steered me wrong. So like take that if you need it. Knight of Swords tells me that you are definitely making hasty decisions, or our mind is moving faster than the rest of us. Like we are not really, I almost want to say we're not really thinking things through. So let's actually see what's coming up. Even if we're having a lot of fun, I do feel like there is this air of like we're not being as cautious as maybe we should be. So let's see what else is coming up with that. If you feel like this is you, let's actually get some solid advice on what that's about. So I'm just putting the cards back into the deck. I always try to split them up and put them back in face up if they were reversed, which these ones weren't, but oh, we got a flyer here. It was the Nine of Pentacles. We'll remember that if it comes back out. Okay, let's see. Three of Wands reversed. Queen of Wands reversed. Two of Pentacles. Okay. The number one thing you need to know is that you will be okay. Like, come back to this reading if you feel like things like what I said in the beginning catches up with you and you feel like you did overdo it. You did overindulge and now your mental health is struggling because of that. You will be okay. Two of Pentacles tells me that you've always been okay. You always will be okay. You just haven't gotten to a place. And this, I'm going to be honest with you, pile number 3. This reading might hurt a little bit. This might be a little bit of a slap in the face. I always say that my father, who is in the business of vending machines, he is giving out candy. He is making candy at the candy factory. Kloee Taylor is not making candy at the candy factory. I will not sugarcoat this reading. And if you wanted a sugar-coated reading, I'm probably not the right reader for you. But Two of Pentacles tells me, especially this Two of Pentacles in this deck, we have the snake eating its own tail being represented. And this tells me that you've been in this cycle before. That what I said to you about like putting things on a pay in for and then feeling like you're struggling, this has been an issue. And I'm not here to shame you. I am the last person, the girl, bestie. I am you. Okay. I get it because I have been there. Sometimes I still make that mistake and I put myself in those situations when I don't intend to. Like I get it because I am you. I'm not like, but the times that I have not done that and I have changed course are the times that I have felt better. And I feel like this is something that I don't hear enough people talk about. It is that sometimes it is hard to give ourselves a gift for the future because honestly, we live in a reality where like instant gratification is so abundant. And it's projected at us everywhere that we think if we don't have that thing right away, our life is going to like lack in some way. And the thing is, if you constantly put yourself in this cycle, whether you intended to or not, it constantly wreaks havoc on you because the Queen of Wands reversed is feeling like we're out of our power. We're out of alignment. We're out of our power. We don't feel confident. It hurts us on every level. We don't feel like the awesome person that we are. The Three of Wands tells me that it makes our life contract. So I want you to recognize that take what I said. If money is the issue, take what I said seriously. If you can't afford it twice, you can't afford it. Like, I know that sucks when you really want the thing, when you really, and like, I'm not talking about like groceries. Like if you need to eat, girl, please eat. Like, and I've been there too. I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like to build your life from an air mattress on the ground. Like genuinely, I do. I actually have video footage of that I was looking at recently and I was like, damn, whenever I think my life is not going well, I need to like return to these videos and recognize what I have built myself back from. I have been in the trenches. Okay. I understand. I'm not coming here to be condescending with you. Um, I'm coming here to tell you that, like, as somebody that has been in that trench, that knows that trench deeply, intimately, there is a way out. There is a way. And I'm not a therapist. Please remember that. My readings are never intended to be therapy. Like, please go and seek mental health professionals if you feel like that's what you need. Um, but the thing is, it's your nervous system, bestie. Your nervous system has never held the safety of what it feels like to have money or groceries or your basic needs met. Basically, your nervous system has not felt that in so long that it only knows unsafety. So because, and like the sad part is about this is, I mean, it's sad, and it's sad only anyways, but the saddest part about this is that we as humans will take a familiar pain before we will take the pain of change or even the comfort that can come with change. Because if we know what it feels like to live in this trench, it is easier than dealing with the discomfort of changing it. And sometimes it's hard work to change it, to get out that trench. It means we have to say no to things. It means that we have to give ourselves a budget and actually stick to it. It means that sometimes we got to pick up extra work somewhere so we can make a little more. Like, it's not easy work. But what I can tell you is the path that you're on is not one that is sustainable for you. This is something that you are going to keep seeing this happen in your life until you decide to step out of the cycle. You need to ask yourself and be very, very honest. Like I said, this reading was going to be a bit of a slap in the face. Be very honest with yourself. Ask yourself this question when you feel ready. What am I getting out of this? I think some of the greatest change in the lives of others, in the life of myself, has come when the pain of staying the same hurts more than the pain of change. And I have been able to ask myself, what am I getting out of this? What, in like, for example, let's say that I'm trying to think of like an example in my own life. I have definitely bought like a computer on a pay in four when I could not afford to do that. And like, it put me out in rent before. Like, that is something where I've been like, oh, but it will be a good business move and I'll make more money. So like, I need to do that. And then it's like messed up. This is, happened a long time ago, but like, this has like messed up my rent, made my rent late, made me feel stressed out about that. And just put me in a place of disempowerment. And the thing is, had I just waited and put away $50 at a time, if that's what it took, and saved for 2 years and then bought whatever computer might've been a newer model by that time, would it have taken me a long time to do it? Yeah, maybe I wouldn't have even wanted the thing by that time, but at least I would know that it wasn't going to put me out. It wasn't going to hurt my safety. Because I have to tell you, when you have money in the bank, when you have money in savings, I know I keep going back to money. Maybe your thing isn't money. It could be a different thing. Money is just easier for me to talk about and use it as a tangible example. But when you have money in your savings account, you walk around differently. Like, could you just riddle me that for a second? Imagine having like $50,000 in your savings account, knowing that if you missed a day of work, it wasn't going to kill you. Like, it would be okay if you missed a week of work, you would be able to handle your bills still. That's a luxury even I myself don't have right now. But my point is, like, you walk around different when you give yourself that level of safety. And obviously, I'm not saying that you're like tomorrow going to be able to put that kind of money away. But my point is, like, instead of continuing to put yourself in this cycle of overconsumption, overindulgence, I feel like that devil card is, to me, overdoing it and like doing it in the name of like fun or partying or because it's your birthday or because you're on vacation or because, whatever the reason is. It might be fun in the moment, but look how it depletes you later. There will come a time in your life where that won't be the case, where you will be able to do things or pay for things or have a little fun, and it won't feel this bad. It will feel like you can have that, and you're able to hold yourself up. When I talk about your life contracting with the 3 of Wands, it keeps you from opportunity. Like, I will never forget, as like just another example that's coming to me right now that Spirit is asking me to share. I remember a time in my 20s where if I had to pay for parking, I couldn't go because I couldn't afford to pay for the parking for my car to go to whatever event and like pay for a ticket and pay for myself to eat, whatever we were doing. Couldn't pay for all of that. So I wouldn't be able to go because I couldn't afford $8 to park somewhere. And just today, like whenever I get down on myself, I remind myself of those times because my husband and I were plotting what we're going to do for the 4th of July. And he was like, oh, like if we get down here early enough, we can park here for free and blah, blah, blah. And I said, Andrew, that's my husband's name. I said, Andrew, would I love it if we could get free parking? Absolutely. That would be so great. We can definitely have that as a goal, but like, we're okay. If we need to spend $10 to park somewhere for the day, that is not going to break us. And then I like stopped myself and I was like, wow, I remember a time where I couldn't do that. And I don't say this as a point to shame you because you might be in a place right now where you can't afford to do that. But I promise you, getting into those paying fors, putting yourself in more debt in the name of trying to like live a bigger life, you will live a bigger life when you give it to yourself. I used to tell myself all the time that I didn't make enough to save any money. And then I actually started saving money and I started making that the number one priority. Girl, it took me like 10 weeks, but I saved like $1,000. Like, yes, like even if it's $5 at a time, that could have been your parking after a few weeks. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to assume your situation. And like I said, I've been in that trench. I am the last person that's going to like shame you for not having $10 to your name. I know what that feels like. Okay. But my point is like, you have to stop telling yourself the story and you have to stop playing into it. A change has to be made because the cycle is going to keep repeating until you decide that enough is enough. And you make a different choice than how, like, if you want different results, you have to do different things. You will get the same life if you keep repeating the same pattern. And that's the advice I have for you, pile number 3. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for Tarot Stack for sponsoring today's video. If you want more from me, I have my Patreon that has something crazy like 500 videos. If you join, you unlock them instantly. There's pick-a cards, there's vlogs, there's astrology reports that I put out every single month. New content is added every single month over there, sometimes every week, depending on how much goes out, but it's a few things every month, no matter what. And I would love to have you there. It really supports me as a creator. I also have my socials. I'm at Kloee Taylor, spelled exactly how it is here on all social media platforms. And I also have my podcast if you'd like to give it a listen. It's the Cozy Babes Club. It's on YouTube, it's on Spotify, it's on Apple, it's anywhere you listen to podcasts. If you like my readings, you will love my podcast. So definitely give that a listen. And please do not forget, when you stand on your own authenticity, you empower everyone around you to do the same. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye. All right, pile number 4, if you chose card number 14, this one says redirect, intense energy, deep analysis, imaginative, incredible strength, and creativity. So the 14th might be a lucky day for you. 14 might be a lucky number for you. 14 is your number for the time. You might see a lot of 14, or the number 41 because that's 14, reversed. This is just a lucky number for you right now. Spirit is asking you to pay attention when you see it. And 14 could have already been your lucky number. 14 is actually my lucky number, if you didn't know that. I also would say that 44 is a lucky number for me, but 14 is definitely a lucky one. Okay, one more good shuffle. Okay, so the first few cards is going to be your current situation, and then we'll get to some guidance. So we have the Knight of Pentacles. We love to see it. We have the Sun reversed, which is still a vibe. And the Nine of Pentacles reversed. Okay. So I actually just said this to pile number 3 because they got the Sun upright. whenever the sun is in a reading, it's always a good time, even when it's reversed. Like the sun is such an overtly positive card, you can't keep a bad biatch down, is what I'm saying. But I feel like this is overtly a good time. It might not be as much of like an external good time, but you're having an internal good time. Like your mental health is going well, your internal world, your ideas, your imagination. Uh, there's a lot of like forward momentum. The Nine of Pentacles reverse tells me that we are we're not feeling super provided for. Because the Nine of Pentacles is about having enough money to like luxuriate, basically, like all of our needs are met and we're able to spend a little extra on ourselves. But what I think is so funny is we have it paired with the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is about like moving forward on a new financial project or moving in on a new financial idea, a new career path, a new job. We're doing something new, but we haven't seen the fruits of our labor happen yet. So it might be like a slower start, but here's the thing, pile number 4. This start is going to be even better because you're going slower, because you are moving with integrity and alignment. I think a great example of this that I'm going to give you is like, think about how when you go to start like a YouTube channel, a podcast or something, so many people will tell you to niche down. Okay. That has been like tale as old as time. Niche down, have a niche. Once you have a niche, make all the content on that once you figure out your niche. As somebody that is a social media dinosaur, I have been here since 2010. I would actually completely disagree with that advice. I think that worked at one time in the industry. It no longer works. And I shouldn't say it no longer works. I think it can still work. The problem with niching down is you end up hurting yourself by doing that, because eventually the thing that you love will become the thing that you hate. I have experienced this multiple times in my own career, so I know what I'm talking about. When you become the niche and all of your interests are the niche, that to me is the sweet spot. It's moving from a place of alignment and just letting yourself be seen and just seeing what happens. That to me is the new meta. That is like, especially as we have Pluto in Aquarius now, and it's like way more humanitarian versus before what we had, which would have been Capricorn, which I do think would have been a little more niche heavy. We have like people just want human authentic connection now. And because of that, we don't need to niche down. We don't need to water ourselves down anymore. So to me, it's like pursuing things that are in alignment, even if things aren't growing as fast as we want and we're not getting as much outwardly back as quickly. So that's what we have first off, but let's go ahead. So that's where you currently are. Let's go ahead and I'm going to put these back in the deck. And we're going to reshuffle and see what the guidance is for you. Two of Wands. Okay. The Star reversed. Nine of Cups reversed. Okay. Interesting. I want to can I get a clarifier on that Nine of Cups, Spirit? I'm going to give y'all an extra card. Give me a clarifier on that Nine of Cups. Okay. Very interesting. This card is very, very, very special in this deck, by the way, and I'm going to tell you why. This card is very, very, very special because up in this top corner, my best friend in the entire world signed this card. We got tarot decks together. She signed this card in mine. I think I might have signed the Star or the Sun in hers. Maybe it was her Nine of Wands, but every time I see it, this is like the luckiest card in this deck. So that's the clarifier though. Okay. So first and foremost, we need to know what we want. Okay. Your first piece of advice, pile number 4, is that you have not decided what you want. You need to decide what you want. And excuse me, I will always say, until I am blue in the face, that when we say we don't know, it is the biggest cop out. And a lot of people disagree with me on this, but I don't care. I will die on this hill. Okay. When we say we don't know, it's a cop out. Because when you say you don't know, you rid yourself of having to figure it out. You rid yourself of having to sit down and do the inner work, of doing the hard work of figuring it out. And it's okay if you don't know. Like, it's not if somebody asks you a question, you don't need to fabricate an answer and pretend that you know. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about if you don't know what you want for your life, if money was no object, if you could just have what you wanted without having to hustle for it, what would you want? And if you don't know, this is a clear indication that you need to figure it out. So start doing stuff that gets you inspired. Start opening that new Pinterest board. Do something that helps you to figure it out. There are many different avenues to take on that. But Spirit is saying you need to figure out and get crystal mother effing clear on what it is that you actually want. The star coming out reversed. The star, to me, very similar to the sun. Even if it were reversed, I still see it as an overtly positive card because it's about wishes being fulfilled, a big long-term wish being granted to you. But here's the thing. I feel like you're used to fulfilling your own, this is big. You are used to having to fulfill your own dreams. You have this mentality of no one is coming to save me. And though there is truth in that, nobody is coming to save you. Like, you are the person, you are the medicine, you are your own best healer, you are the person. That doesn't mean that you have to do life by yourself. That doesn't mean that, like, your dreams are going to come by the way of other people. I will say this until I'm blue in the face too. When you want something, it is so important that you speak about it. Because that can get you in the right room. That can get you in with the right person. All it takes is one person that you know seeing something, knowing that you're looking for it, and somebody going, oh, I know somebody that does that. Let me see if I can get you in contact with them. Your dreams are going to come by the way of other people, no matter what it is. If you want to own a home, you're going to have to get in with a realtor or an agent. If you want to run a business, you are going to have to interact with clients. If you want a partner, you're going to have to interact with people that you would want to date. Like, your dreams being fulfilled are going to come by the way of other people. You need other people. And so fulfilling your dreams all by yourself is no longer it's not going to happen. It needs to be through others. You need to start collaborating on anything, just telling people what your dreams are. Obviously, if they're not a safe person for you, like, don't be spewing your dreams to your toxic mother or, your auntie that never does anything or says anything nice to you. Like, don't be saying things to them. Say things to people that support you and love you. But know that your dreams are going to come by the way of other people. So it's really important that you say those things out loud. And the 9 of Cups coming up reverse, the reason I asked for a clarifier is because the 9 of Cups to me is not getting what we wanted. It's a lack of getting what we want. We are discontent because the thing is not coming. And the 9 of Wands tells me, this to me is the hustler's card. We're trying to hustle too hard for it. You don't need to hustle. I know that this is hard, okay? Maybe you're somebody that has seen success from hustling, okay? I get it. I've been there. Really. I'm still there sometimes. I'm still working through it. I understand this intimately. So I'm not just saying it just to say it. There is something about feeling like you need to hustle and take on too much and perform or be a certain kind of person in order to get your needs fulfilled. But the reality is you don't. And when you hustle really, 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 really hard for something and you're grasping and grasping and grasping, you'll feel like you need to exude that same effort to keep it. And the reality is, if you backed off a little, if you let your nervous system heal a little, if you let yourself surrender a little, you will be so much more content, even just on the way there to getting the thing that you want. And also, what I said about like not niching down, I think this is really important. I might be speaking to an influencer. There might be somebody here that's listening that like wants to influence. You are the niche. Think of all these little sunflowers as cameras. Like, or like each little sunflower represents a different thing that you're interested in. It's fine to be surrounded by all the things that you're interested in. They will all turn towards you because it's your energy. It's you, it's who you are that will attract people, not like there is this misconception that you have to always be adding value. What if it is just your energy that is the value? Do you get it? Like you are the value. Your energy is the value. And so everything you do, everything you touch, everything you create, that is the value. You don't need to give and give and give until you can't give anymore because that will lead to discontentment. Getting what you want actually means that there is a little more surrender involved. I also think with the star reversed, this is about letting the big universe, the big you step in. This is about saying, you know what? I don't know how I'm going to get there. I don't know what my path is going to look like. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to follow my joy today and see what happens. I'm just going to follow my intuition today and see what happens. And leaving opportunity for miracles to happen, for the right phone call to come in, for the right money to come in from a way that you didn't expect it, from, you know, whatever it might be. Leaving that door open and no longer trying to control every manifestation. I feel like that is the message you needed to hear today, pile number 4. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much, Tarot Stack, for sponsoring today's video. If you want more from me, do be sure to check out my Patreon. It's linked down below. I put out new content every single month, an astrology report, pick-a-cards, vlogs. I recently did a video on Saturn for each sign, so check that out. When you join, you get access to like something crazy like 500 videos immediately. There's like pick-a-cards that we've done. It's just, there's like a whole back catalog. And new stuff is added every single month. Like literally, I have not missed a month on Patreon since I launched it in 2021. So definitely check it out if you would like more content. It helps me out. And I also have my socials. I'm at Kloee Taylor everywhere, exactly as it's spelled here. If you want to follow me. And then I also have my podcast. If you like my readings, you will love my podcast. It is called The Cozy Babes Club. It's available here on YouTube, links below, Spotify, Apple, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Just search The Cozy Babes Club. It will come up. And thank you so much for tuning in. Please do not forget, when you stand on your own authenticity, you empower everyone around you to do the same. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye.